how do you fit into kind of the, like, not being in the field building Barndos, right? You're not in the sales world. You're not in that client-facing seat. But everybody's heard me, like, pound on core values, right, inside this company. Like, which one do you kind of cling to and why? And how does it show up in your day-to-day?
I think from the outside perception, we did the company awards back in January, and I got the N for Never Stop Giving. I think part of that is I'm a workaholic. I just enjoy it and all. I think my favorite is really love what you're doing. And I do. Like, coming to work each day is not I have to get up and go to work. No, I get to come to work. I'm excited to be there. This is a fun place to be, very much of a family aspect. And I think that's where loving what I do, it does allow me to work with those different things where I'm not in the field with production. I'm not, necessarily a part of sales and what they do, or, with procurement and the ordering, but in that financial seat, I work with all. With production, I love our head of production, Nick. We're really good friends, but I'm hard on him. I'm like, you got to stop spending money. Or, it's little things. It's, hey, we do 5-inch gutters. Hey, I sent 6-inch gutters to this house, which that costs $1,000 more for that house. Well, in my mind, if we're going to build 100 houses this year, that's $100,000 decision. So helping production see the littlest decision like that goes. So I think just having that, loving what I do, it does make it fun. It makes it, even though I sit kind of in the back corner office, people pop in now and then, but I don't see customers. I've seen probably 4 or 5 houses that we've built just going out here and there. But for the most part, I see a spreadsheet and I know customers by their name and what their contract price is and, how quick they sign their draws for me, which helps the bank release the money. That's kind of my evaluation of them. But yeah, I think core value for me, I just really loving what I do.
Well, and what's been cool is like filling that seat, because you've been with us, what, a year and a half?
We'll go with that. Yeah, it's about 16 months.
Yeah. So, yeah, close to a year and a half. And, like, stepping into that role, you didn't, like, replace somebody. We literally built a seat that, because used to it was kind of like a split seat thing. And we built the seat, you came in, and then, like, that perspective of cost drives everything, it really poured into the process that we created to make the experience better. Because one of the biggest hurdles and obstacles that we had was in custom building world, like there's a tendency to do allowances. You get to a point, they're going and picking out the stuff, and they've changed their mind again, and then there's a change order, and that's just like building. That's just like if you're doing custom building, you got contingency fees in there. You're going to spend change orders. You're going to change your mind. We don't have that, like, because we're basically doing semi-custom and custom homes in a production world, and so we really had to get really laser focused on all the selections up front, and there was also a lot of upfront cost associated to building out all these design centers and doing all this stuff, and like, it was huge ROI on that because now people are coming to the table and they've already pre-selected all these items, but having that focus on like all these little things has improved that client experience so much more because now, the house goes up sooner. There's less sweating and worrying about selections. They're not down to the wire and having to rush and make decisions. Like they've had time to plan into that through the onboarding process and all the pre-contract work to get that thing dialed in so that we can, set that price, seal that deal, and then go build it. Before that, I mean, we just didn't have that perspective. And like, you're always that perspective, it's like, hey, this is a great idea, and I get it. This is what people want, but this is what it costs to do it. And then we have to sit down and make a decision like, well, if everybody's doing this, let's just include it. And then that makes that cost per square foot slowly creep up, and sales is like having panic attacks. But at the end of the day, between the standard upgrades that people are doing, they're all picking it. So it's like we just kind of keep rolling things into that envelope to say, well, why even offer a substandard option? Right. And so that's a delicate dance too with the housing market the way it is with the interest rates and things like every cent matters to these people, especially tying in their land and hoping for good appraisals and all these things that are present in this construction world. Like there's a lot that goes into setting that number. It's not just a magic wand, we're like, well, this sounds marketable. Let's go with this number.
Which we've grown a lot in that, looking back to when I first got here in that January, I think we maybe had 14 houses under construction. At that point, we didn't have a lot of data. It much was, hey, I think we can build it for about this price. And so we started at that point. But then once you kind of get in and look and see, you learn and you grow. And now we're over 70 houses under construction. It's exciting, it's fun, but it's even more data to look through. And then now more areas as we get into different markets and learning to say, hey, realize this market, we can do this a little bit better, but here's more costs that run into if it's, a county inspection or requirements for their codes. We have to know all of those things as we go into it.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in to the Barndo Show podcast. If you're watching on YouTube or wherever you're listening to this content, hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And then be sure to check us out on all of our social media platforms at the Barndo Co. Super simple to find us. And then when you're ready to dive in a little more, maybe look around some of our available floor plan options or take a look at the gallery of our work, or maybe you're ready to connect with our team and explore what it looks like to build your dream barndominium, you can visit us online at thebarndoco.com.